Good afternoon, grinders. This is your SimLabs analysis for Wednesday, April 30th. I'm Jordan Cooper, aka BlenderHD, BlenderHD. You're going to follow me on Twitter. Feel free to hit that thumbs up button on your way in the door. You know how much I like the thummy thumbs. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell to always know when we go live. We got Grinders live later today, followed by Crunch Time with Kevin Roth with his weather update, which we do have an issue. The Brewers White Sox game, which is a 7:40 p.m. Eastern game. I don't know how relevant that game is as far as chalkiness on the slate or whatever. I'm not sure if you're playing that many bats in that game or the pitchers, but Roth has it as yellow-orange. Basically, that there's going to be a light rain or drizzle throughout the night, and they could just choose to play through it, or maybe they just decide to postpone it altogether. So definitely tune in to Crunch Time for the latest weather update. He has the radar on the screen. He goes through all the scenarios for you, but that's what we use SimLabs for. All the scenarios on the slate, pitching-wise, hitting-wise. We take 10,000 plus simulations of the contest, small field, large field, single entry. Run it out 10,000 plus times. What lineups show up towards the top on average more than others? And I like looking at the optimal versus projected ownership for the pitchers today. The top pitchers on the slate, probably Nathan Eovaldi, 9,200. Is probably going to be the chalkiest option. We have him at close to 40% projected on. The pitching on the slate is not very good. Okay. I mean, I know it's a 9-game slate, but the pitching is not like the best in the world. I think Eovaldi and Sanchez are probably the top two options. We have them projected around 18 mean fantasy points. Eovaldi's 9,200, Sanchez 8,200. There's also Matthew Boyd at 8,400 against the Pirates. We have him as the highest optimal rate pitcher. So we have Boyd at 33%. You can see here, optimal versus projected ownership, that he is 9 percentage points higher chance of being optimal than his ownership. So that's really what this chart means. It doesn't mean that you can't play a guy that's overowned. You have to play a guy that's underowned, because like we have Steven Matz is underowned. Okay, he's 7,800 and his striking a prop is like 3. Like, I don't know how much upside you get with Steven Matz at 7,800, but we have his optimal rate at 15%, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th on the slate. But we have his ownership at like 3. Okay. So, like, yeah, he doesn't have the highest of chances of being optimal. It's just that if he's only going to be 3% owned, that's why, he's 12 percentage points more likely to be optimal than his projected ownership. So sometimes the green bar looks like, oh my God, he's so underowned. It's like, yeah, but it's still a fairly small shot that he's going to be optimal. Obviously, Nathan Eovaldi, we have his overowned. We have his 39% projected owned, but 25% chance of being optimal. Christian Sanchez, 29% projected owned, 21% chance of being optimal. Like Eovaldi and Sanchez are the second and third highest chances of being optimal. It's just that I think on this slate, we're projecting the ownership that it's going to be very condensed to these pitchers. Then we have some ownership on Drew Rasmussen, some on like Corbin Burns, I guess, against the Mets at 9K. Tobias Myers at 7,200 in that Milwaukee-Chicago game, which who knows if it plays, and if it does, how long it goes. I'd be careful about that. Is Tobias Myers worth taking a shot on in case that game gets postponed? Probably not, but can you do it? Sure. And then also we have like Luis Severino as a little bit underowned. Like between like Severino and Matz, like it's a $200 difference. It feels like Severino has a similar optimal rate to Steven Matz, but like Severino could actually strike people out. I mean, like, is it a good matchup against Texas? Probably not. But just Steven Matz in Cincinnati, just, I don't know. Sounds like a nightmare to me. But hey, what do I know? That's why I trust the Sims. So maybe you get a little bit more Matz in my lineups. If you're playing a whole bunch of them, I'm playing one lineup. I'm telling you, I'm not playing Steven Matz today. Okay, I'm making the executive decision. I ain't doing it. Matthew Boyd, on the other hand, I am gonna play. And then if we take a look at offenses, I go to our top MLB stacks and stack values. We have this for premium members. Highest optimal rate stack on the slate is the Yankees. I think the Yankees will be very popular. The bottom of their order, the projected order, has some cheapies in it. Like if we see here for the Yankees, let's scroll down to the Yankees. Like, yeah, I mean, like, yeah, Judge is expensive at 6,300, but like no one really Goldschmidt, 4,200. Bellinger, 4,500. Volpe, 4,200. Wells, 3,700. Dominguez, 4,200. But you got like Reyes, Cabrera, Peraza. I mean, these guys are 2K, 3K. And I never mind or don't mind as much playing bottom of the order hitters for road teams, especially, you know, in a decent ballpark, I guess, decent hitting conditions. Yeah, I don't mind. Like, I don't mind. Pablo Reyes, second base. I don't think second base is all that strong today, right? And then you got 2 third basemen. I mean, he can't even play both. He can't even play Cabrera and Peraza together. So you can easily build a Yankees lineup. And they have one of the higher team totals on the slate. I think they may have the highest team total on the slate. A lot of team totals are like around 4.5 because the pitching isn't all that great. Right, I think the Yankees 4.75, the Orioles 4.75, the Cubs 4.75, Boston, Toronto similar, right? A lot of stuff in the 4s. Of course, the Nationals have sub 3 implied run total, but we have the Yankees as the highest optimal stack, and then the Cubs at 12.8%. Then we have that kind of this grouping here of a whole bunch of teams: Arizona, Philadelphia, Tampa Bay, Milwaukee, St. Louis, Texas, Boston, Baltimore. And none seem all that like overowned or anything. We have like Toronto is overowned. Cincinnati is overowned. You can see here, right? You see here on the chart. Optimal percentage for Cincinnati and Toronto is like 2-3%. We have their ownership at 7, 8, 9%. Pull it over. Doesn't mean you can't play them, because you're probably not playing all overowned players together. That combination of projection, correlation, and leverage, as I always say. Okay, so I'm going to be playing. I'm just playing single entry. I'm playing one lineup today. Single entry contest. I'm making the executive decision to not play Steven Matz. Don't give me any Steven Matz, SimLabs. This is how you can use SimLabs. You don't need. A lot of people think all these tools are for people that play hundreds of lineups and thousands of dollars and everything like that. No. You could use it to build one lineup to play for one contest if you want. Let it do the work for you. And they'll give you a whole bunch of lineups that are about equal to each other. And choose one to play. It's not just about who to play, it's about who to play together. That combination. So if I want to play Matthew Boyd today, right, I could lock him in. I don't want to play Steven Matz today. I could just exclude him, right? And I could look at 20 lineups. Give me 20 lineups. How they rated? What stacks are? And then I'm assuming I guess I'm gonna get Yankees. Let's see. Not all Yankees, but whatever. I could choose to exclude and just no. I don't want to play Yankee stack today. You can do that. You see here, right? Boyd, Meyer. Okay, here's my. I'm gonna exclude Myers also. Right, I'm gonna exclude the pitchers from that. I'm not gonna take a shot on pitchers in a game that may not even play. We get rid of Tobias Myers as well. But I mean, here's a Boyd Severino lineup. Remember, I said I'd rather play Severino over Boyd. Austin Wells, Goldschmidt, Reyes, Judge, Bellinger. And you're playing the other side of the game also, the Orioles, which I don't mind. Connor Henderson, Ramon Laureano, 2,300, bottom of the order. Matt McClain is a one-off. See all the green bars? Projects well. Done. Absolutely doable. You can totally play this lineup. 500 remaining salary, that's fine. Right? We're getting Yankees, Cardinals, Yankees, Orioles, some Phillies here. Right? Here's a Corbin Burns line. Like, I don't mind this lineup. Corbin Burns, Matthew Boyd. They play Wells, Goldschmidt, Reyes, Peraza, Judge. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gunnar Henderson is a one-off. Kyle Tucker is a one-off. Jock Peterson is a one-off. Looks good to me. I mean, here's the Boyd Severino lineup also with an Orioles stack. You punt at third base with Peraza. Jaron Duran is a one-off. Like these aren't insane lineups. Boyd Severino. I mean, you're getting a little bit different by not playing Eovaldi or Sanchez. By just playing Matthew Boyd. I mean, you could do that also. I could lock in and I go, do I want to play Sanchez? Do I want to play Eovaldi? Let's say I play a Boyd Eovaldi combination. What do these lineups look like? I mean, that's really what we're looking at. Like, I'm just going to put in 10. So if I play Boyd and Eovaldi, those lineups didn't have any Eovaldi in it, or even Sanchez in it. Right, here we go. Here's this first one. It's the Blue Jays stack. Eovaldi, Boyd, Kirk, Guerrero, Bichette, Springer, Santander, Schwarber, Semien, India. I mean, this is fine. I mean, I'm assuming we're not getting Yankees really with Eovaldi Boyd combination because we have Eovaldi as 14% over owned, and the Yankees as like the chalkiest stack. So that combination, when you're playing a 40% owned guy, it's probably not gonna the EV of pairing that with the highest owned stack is probably you're not getting different enough. I know it's single entry. So you want to get somewhat different. I mean, you're playing a field of 500 people. Am I into playing Toronto today? I mean, you can. All right, here's some Orioles, Tampa Bay, Eovaldi, Boyd. Here's the Yankees lineup. I mean, it doesn't rate out as well as it could. Of course, it has a White Sox in it, and who knows if that game plays. So you could look through this. So if I don't play, how about Sanchez? I'm going to put in Boyd and Sanchez. Let's see what I get out of 10 lineups. Just make it quick. I mean, you can do 150 in 7 seconds. So doing 10 in 3 seconds. Got to save some time. So Boyd Sanchez lineup. Okay, here's the Yankees lineup with Boyd and Sanchez. The Boyd Sanchez, Wells Goldschmidt, Cabrera, Volpe, Judge, Kyle Schwarber, Anthony Santander as one-offs, perfectly fine. And you're essentially punting at second base with Luis Urias, a 1% owned garbage second baseman. This is fine. Boyd Sanchez. That's what this line. He's a Red Sox stack with Boyd Sanchez. There's another Yankees lineup with Boyd Sanchez. Goldschmidt, Reyes, Peraza, Judge, Bellinger. Lawrence Butler, Bichette, and Salvador Perez as one-offs. Of course, Lawrence Butler is going to be 1% owned because he's still 5K. No one's going to take him. Feel free to play that. Yeah, these are fine. I think these Boyd Sanchez lineups are better than the Boyd Eovaldi lineups. If you're going to play the Yankees today, I think that's the key. If you're going to play the Yankees today, you're probably going to get a little bit tad off the board at pitcher. And I don't think you have to play. I don't think you have to play Eovaldi or Sanchez. I don't think you have to play Matthew Boyd either. But I mean, I think he's going to come in third highest in ownership, fourth highest in ownership. I mean, Rasmussen's going to be there also. I think ownership-wise, it's going to be Eovaldi, Sanchez, Rasmussen, Boyd. And Boyd is the highest optimal in our sims anyway. And then Eovaldi and Sanchez Eovaldi is decently overowned, and Sanchez is somewhat overowned. So if I'm going to choose, I'm going to choose Boyd out of these three. But, I mean, if you want to play Corbin Burns over Sanchez and Eovaldi, I think that's fine also. Drew Rasmussen's fine. Once we get into some of the cheaper stuff, and I don't know about that. Shane Smith, if that game plays. I mean, some of these pitchers, I mean, I'm taking a look at, if this was 5 years ago, this would be a great pitching slate with Carrasco and Severino, Giolito. Right, Corbin Burns would be 12K on the slate, right? Back in the day. But that ain't today. That ain't today. So this is how you use SimLabs. I mean, you could use a 5-man stack. Who do I want to play? Right? You could even do something like, okay, single entry, low results range. I want to build 150 lineups. Let me see what's in. Right? So you just run 150 lineups. You don't have to play 150 lineups. You can run them. And you can look, who you get a lot more of than others. And then you could use this as a research tool to decide who to play if you want to. Even if you're hand building. Right? Go to exposures. I can look at the starting pitcher and go, look, I'm getting a ton of Matthew Boyd. Right? Still getting plenty of Eovaldi and Sanchez. Not getting as much of Drew Rasmussen. Right? You can just look at this and go, okay, this is interesting. And you go to teams, and you're getting tons of Yankees, Orioles, and then some Rays, Cardinals, Red Sox. That's the game. It's the earliest game, right? 6:35 p.m. Eastern. So yeah, SimLabs likes that game. Matthew Boyd and the Yankees-Orioles game. Just understand Yankees and Orioles are going to be kind of chalky also, right? Take a look at the Orioles. Yeah, the Orioles are actually going to be a little bit overowned. But still 6% chance of being optimal. Aaron Judge as a one. Maybe you don't play Aaron Judge as a one-off today. The Yankees are going to be chalky. Right? Because if Aaron Judge does well, it's more likely that, the rest of the lineup also does well. Although it's Aaron Judge. He hits 3 home runs and no one does anything. I mean, that can't happen. We've seen it happen. So yeah, so if you want to play chalk today, play the Yankees. If I'm not playing the Yankees, probably Cardinals. It's Cardinals, Phillies, Rays. There's a mix of all these teams, like the Yankees, and then it's stepped down. Maybe I didn't see many Cubs in SimLabs. We don't get much of the Cubs. We're going to get some Phillies, some Cardinals, some Tampa Bay, some Boston, I guess, on the other side of that game. Against Rodriguez. Yeah, that's doable. You can do that also. But yeah, they'll talk about it more on Crunch Time later today. And you can get SimLabs as part of the Combo Light package. It's available for MLB, NBA, NFL, PGA. Get access to all of our research tools, such as Plate IQ for baseball, as well as our written content. That's his value rankings, expert surveys. Cheese's good $1 million musings. He writes like 20,000 words or something. It's a lot of words every weekday for the MLB slates. And it's only $29.99 a month. You get full access to SimLabs. You can do anything you want in SimLabs. Right? You could run this as many times you want, save whatever lineups you want, change whatever settings you want, download whatever lineups you want, do whatever you want in SimLabs for one low price. So click on that link in the description for more information and hit that thumbs up button on your way out the door. Hit the subscribe button if you're new here. And hit that notification bell. Grinders Live will be on a little bit early today because it's a little bit earlier of a slate. They'll hit you with all the starting lineup updates, their takes, their plays, their picks. And obviously Kevin Roth. Got to look out for that Brewers White Sox game for the weather. So if you're thinking about playing anyone from that game, you got to pay attention. Do so. And I'll see you next week again with another MLB SimLabs analysis here on RotoGrinders.com.